Hey, this is Ryan coming back at you with week two of our visit with Betty Albrecht and Karen McMullin talking to us on the Pettis County Community Santa campaign. Last week they talked more on how they serve the general public during this time of need in the holiday seasons. Today's will be more on how us that are grateful enough to contribute in various ways can come at helping them out both during the holiday season and as we'll find out, they're always seeking assistance year round. So let's go see what Betty and Carol have to say. Let's go. Hello, social media world. This is Ryan coming with at you with our quick hits today, and it's gonna be me flying solo. My dad's off working on a separate project for the holiday season, but today we're very delighted to bring in Betty Albrecht and Carol McMullin that are going to cover with us some. Are kind of going to lead upon our community causes we talked about last week with Pastor Chad at First Christian. And today's, we're going to be discovering some details about the Pettis County Community Santa project. I've gotten to know Betty and Carol through both the Sedalia Chamber and then in addition, our office watch Facebook posts. We'd been contributors through some of our closings to the Sedalia, or not Sedalia Foundation, to you guys, the Santa, but it's through our Sedalia Foundation. A portion of our closings for given months would go to. So anyway, enough with me. I'm going to introduce Carol and Betty, and if you just give a quick second about yourself and just a tad about the history of the project you're working with.
All right. Thank you for having us on. We appreciate it. I'm Carol McMullin. I've been working with Community Santa for a very long time. It has grown over the years. It started 40 years ago with the city. It was a much different program then, but in some form or another, either the city or our private group have worked to supply toys and a little cheer to the children in our Pettis County area who are in need each year. And we're very pleased. The program has grown. We have lots and lots of volunteers by way of like yourself or organizations in the community that help us out in a myriad number of ways. Our main goal is we can't be everything to every person. And so our goal is to see to it that the children in Pettis County have an experience that is in keeping with their peers. So when they go back to school after the holiday season, we want them to feel like they are a part of that community. And yes, they did get things for Christmas. And yes, they do have some information to share and some stories to tell. And our goal is to kind of fill that need. One of the ways we do it is we ask the parents to be very specific as to the kinds of toys their children like to play with. So it's not a one pattern fits all. Every little boy doesn't get a ball. Every little girl doesn't get a doll. You get what your child is really interested in. And then the other thing we think is important, we give these gifts to the parents, not to the children, and then it's the parents' gift to give. And so if Santa gives it, or if the parents themselves give it, that's up to them. It puts the whole spirit of the event back in the parents' hands.
Perfect.
Hi, I'm Betty Albright. I'm one of several volunteers. We are a totally volunteer group. Carol and I are just two of those. We have a great group of volunteers that do this. We're a little limited this year because of COVID. We've tried to really pair and work with a smaller group. I particularly like my title, I'm the toy buyer. So I try to see that we have toys for every child that went from what Carol said about how they give a specific list of what they like. So we see that they have those. We do shop locally as much as we possibly can.
As far as we've heard a lot of how the receiving end of things go, like what are some channels in which us as local business leaders and just the general public can still help out with you guys as the time draws near to for them to get their gifts?
We're so glad that our title is Community Santa, because it is truly a community effort. We get phone calls from the churches, we get phone calls from the civic groups. We make phone calls to those people. Can you do this? Can you do that? Gracious every time. And so as Betty had mentioned, everything is volunteer. The only bill that I know of that we pay consistently is an insurance bill, which is required by just being in the building. But other than that, none of us take any salaries or anything. So the best thing this year is monetary donations. In all fairness, in the past, a lot of our people have adopted. We feel like we can't do that. That's a action. And we can't, anything that involves too many people getting together, we're trying to find a way to avoid. So we're encouraging people to, if they'll give us a monetary donation, Betty's going to stretch that dollar as far as it can go. And she's got lots of resources. We always start locally. And then what we can't find and have to go outsource a little bit, we'll do that. But we can buy in bulk, which makes the money go further. You want to add to that, Betty?
Something I might add, Ryan, is that when we're doing that, in past years, we've had the red and white polka dot boxes out in the community for the community to help support by donating toys. This year, there's very few of those, and only in places that are secure, that where they can get the toy and put it right in. And then the girl that is in charge of that, she takes those and keeps them in her garage for a given number of days before she brings them in, so that they're safe and things like that. But we do have jars out and around the community more than the boxes that we've had in the past. So that's why the money is helping us a little bit more this year. And people have been generous, and we can't stress enough, there is no donation too small. We make every dollar count. So yes, so it truly does help us that way.
Well, just on average, if the office was to, I know you said couldn't officially donate it or adopt a family, but kind of on average, what family-wise, what amount would cover a family?
Well, there is no average, because we have families with one child. We have families, quite honestly, with 10 children, and a couple with even more. So there is no average that way that we can get.
Like a family with, say, 2 kids.
With 2 kids, then I would say, $40 to $50 would really, provide lots of toys for those children. And actually, we can probably make that stretch for even more kids. But if you're doing it, that's what it would probably cost any family that was going out to buy toys for 2 kids.
So probably say on average maybe 25 a head then.
Surely, yeah. And that's for toys. Then remember, we give them books, and we give them toothbrushes and toothpaste and gloves and a lovey and a little blanket. And so, but yes, that's a nice number. So surely.
And I was looking on your Facebook page and saw looked like you had posted the locations of where you have some of those jars. If that's accurate, I can print out a picture or get a graphic and make sure it's on that video. So
Shelley Spinner does a really good job of getting those out and watching those, and those jars. We've had some businesses ask when we want them back. Those can stay out all the way till Christmas, because we'll take money, and we take money year round, because we really shop year round and make this program work.
When do you get girls start with your job, or does it end?
Well, that's why we truly we do this in some form all the time, all year,
Okay.
whether it's paperwork, whether it's shopping, whether it's reorganizing and things like that. But
Mhm.
that's why we have to have deadlines, because then we have to have time to get these together, to get the orders for the people that did follow the rules and have things in, and have their paperwork ready,
Mhm.
and have their applications in. We want to be able to help those.
And how, just out of curiosity, how has the COVID bug affected
Well,
you guys?
we are masked when we're here. Right now, it's only Carol and I, and we're more than 6 feet apart, so we're okay. But we have a very small group that's working. Instead of the 20 to 25 volunteers that
Oh
we've used
gosh.
in the past, we're only using about 10. And we work in smaller groups. We work in groups of 4 to 6 and
Hmm.
stay farther apart. And we're all masked, and we have, sanitizing equipment and things here with us that we use all the time. And that helps us, and that's why we're not in contact with the public per se. While instead of having people come in to apply like they have in the past, that's why the 3 locations have the
Find another
applications for
channel.
us. Right.
Is it?
So that's some of the many ways we've been in. Uh, Paperwork is different.
Mhm.
Finances are different, because things are scarcer to find. Toy prices have escalated. Games
Oh, go
are
figure.
high. Yes. So everything, is, there's certain things that are hard to find for us, but we try. We really try to. And that's why we ask for 3 to 4 ideas for every child. So if we can't give them, we may not be able to give them everyone, but we can, try to hit, 2 of those 3 or 4 at least.
Have your numbers for
Anything
requests
else covered?
been way up this year?
Well, we think so. We think that they are. We're still in the process of doing all
Mhm.
that, but we're expecting to have those. We mailed out applications to people that have been in the program in the past. But we knew that this year of all years, because of COVID, there were probably going to be extras, that people have lost their jobs, or
Mhm.
striving to make it ends meet, and need more help this year than they haven't before. You know, and that's always rewarding when you're able to do that. It's equally rewarding, or more so, when people have told us, you know what, I'm okay this year, you can help someone else. And that's
Wow,
been the case in a couple of times.
that's fabulous. Well, in our wrapping up, I I didn't. If you ever watched our video before, I try to get a zinger by somebody. What I call our "Who to Thunk It" question of the week. I thought I'd be easier on
Let me see if I
you
can get
ladies,
close
since you
to
all
him.
have been
Please take it easy on us, Ryan.
going at it all day and uh, doing your parts. Rather, I was just going to say, for all the Hallmark junkies out there, uh, maybe you can tell them, what is the biggest tearjerker or heartstring tugger story that
Oh,
you've had in your years at it?
well, we've had lots of those, and Carol and I typically don't work the front as much, but this year we're hearing it because of the phone contact, and Carol has all of that. But one of the ones that's been really sad is that grandparents that are raising their grandchildren, they've
Mm-hmm.
had things like that. And we've had a couple of cases where people have had lots of tragedies, not just not having an income, but then having illness on top of it, and having a death of a spouse or death of a child and things like that.
Mhm.
I mean, those
God.
There
are,
have been too many of those.
yeah, there are lots of tear jerking moments, but that's why we want this to be good. That's why we do what we do. We want it to be a
Oh
positive
yeah.
experience for as many
It's
kids, because when when COVID hit and we thought, what are we going to do? And Carol came up with this idea and how we could make it work. So we've really tried to implement that, but because we thought we can't not do it.
Well, and the
it
nice thing about that was we called a Zoom meeting with our board
mm-hmm.
and said, okay, we're going to give this a shot. What do you think? And to a man, everyone on the board said, oh, we were so afraid that you were going to say we couldn't do it. We have to do it, even if we're afraid of
Oh yeah.
COVID ourselves, even if we're in that group of people who are most at risk. We have to make this work, because we feel like it. Some people look at it and they say, oh, you're giving toys, that's not a big deal. Okay, well, it is a big deal, not just to that child, but to that parent if he can't do it, if he can't give his kid anything for Christmas, if he can't make that be a special day. And this year we feel like it's really important that we
Oh,
find
yeah.
some way to brighten our lives and lighten the load.
That's
One of the uplifting things that I always try to tell, one year, it's been about 3 years now, but a young mom walked in and laid $100 bill on the counter and said, I was in a really bad situation last year and you helped me. Things are much better this year. I want to pay it forward.
mm,
I get teary eyed even telling that story, Ryan,
oh
because
gosh. Yeah.
that's what it's all about. People helping other people. And like Carol said, it truly is a community project. And we
I think you froze for a second.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. We'll just
Oh,
kind of
I
guess
said,
where we left off.
oh, okay. I just said we've had so many people that have
Mhm.
helped us financially to make this program work that we can't begin to list them all, but groups
Mm.
that have helped us in the past are helping again. Ones that haven't done it in the past have stepped up this year. Ones that have adopted families before are helping us financially this year since we can't do that. And it isn't just for children, although that's our main focus, but we don't leave out the elderly and disabled because we do try to help those that qualify.
That's well,
Right.
I definitely appreciate your. It's been a juggling act this year, and is there any final words that you have for our social media
I
Thanks for
think,
the
audience?
support.
yeah, I think that Betty's right. Thanks for the support.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell, I don't, I spend a lot of time on the phone making those contacts and talking with the people that are applying. Um, no one turns me down. I just love that. I wish that was true in my personal life.
Yeah.
But if I call and say I need some volunteers to man the door, what have you got? But within the hour I'll have 3 people call me back. This group can do it. That group can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And bless their hearts, we've had one man who has been especially sweet, gave us a very generous donation, and the next week came back with another one almost as generous as the first one, and he said, I just don't see how you're going to make it if we don't all step up. And
Nice.
you got to love, I could tell you what, you got to love this community. Um, like I said at the beginning, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I am amazed every year at how generous the people of this community are. They're just
Absolutely.
wonderful.
It brought me back.
There you
I've
go.
seen, I mean, I'm not going to knock any place that I've been because I've been in some great places, but
Right,
yeah,
right.
it made things easy to be back myself. So yeah, I'm just going to mention to everybody too, if get out there, I'm just kind of getting my bearings before I come on, and y'all do an excellent job on your Facebook page. So people out playing this afternoon online, or make sure and like them on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Look us up under Pettis County Community Santa.
Yeah, y'all even keep updated throughout the year. That caught my
Yes, we
eye.
Kim,
do.
Kim Schroeder does a really
Yeah.
good job with that.
That we turned that over to Kim Schroeder a few years ago,
Okay.
and she just has a blast with it. So she's
Well,
going to tell you something fun on the 4th of July and Memorial Day, and
mhm.
she's going to keep you in the loop.
So she does excellent. So
Yeah.
well, we know you worked hard today, and for you to jump in on this, we definitely appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get it out to some good folks that can
Nice.
continue to, at least at the minimum, pray on it. And as we've
Well,
said,
we appreciate you thinking of us and going the
Mhm.
extra mile to get us some coverage
Yeah.
and some information out there.
Thanks
Oh,
so much,
absolutely.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
I can't say that we're social media junkies as far as our crowd out there, but we'd probably get an extra like for you there.
We appreciate that. Kim's
Yeah.
always she's always counting those likes.
Good. Well, I'll make sure we'll get it tagged the video tagged on there and get you extra coverage. And
All right.
know everybody or every bit helps this year in this
Yes.
business. So thank you again for your time
Thank
and
you.
jumping in with us.